Hi friends, you just saw the unboxing of this Fumato hand blender. Just bought this last week from Amazon for 2200. So these are all the things inside the box. So this is the chopper jar with the chopping blade, the chopper jar lid. Then you have the motor unit. This is the blender with the blade. This is the jar in which you can do the blending, and it's a measuring jar. It is 700 ml capacity. This is the whisker attachment, and this is the frothing attachment, and they call it the speed adjusting adapter, which is fixed on top of this. So it gets locked here, and then you fit the motor unit. And in this you have the turbo speed, and this is the low and high speed, where you can move it like this, rotate it for increasing and decreasing the speed. There is a small booklet provided along with this, which has got a lot of instructions. So there are 2-3 reasons for why I selected this. One is we were looking for 400 to 600 power motor, and most of the branded ones were having anywhere between 1000 to 1500 watt motor, which we felt was too high for doing a chopping and blending job. That was the main reason. And secondly, when we're going through various products, we came across this, and color is what attracted. There were two colors. One is blue, sea blue, or sort of copper sulfate blue, and this is this tomato red color. So we had option of color. Usually we get white or black, so that was one attraction. And above all, the rate was very good. At 2200 you are getting more attachments. Most of the chopper blenders had only the main jar, motor unit, and the blender. Additionally, this one has a whisker attachment and a frother attachment. So we felt it was more value for money, and there were good reviews on Amazon as well. So let me share the first impression about this product. Before that, I'd like to share my experience of using chopper blenders. Like my first chopper blender was a Braun, which we bought in 2000, and it lasted almost 17-18 years. It worked very well, but this chopper jar was smaller, cylindrical, smaller. The blade was quite good. So the only difference was those days they used to make this body. This used to be plastic body, but it was quite sharp enough to blend. I used to use it mainly to make lassis and blend milkshakes and other things. I also had the jar. In the meanwhile, in 2013, we bought a prawn food processor from Dubai, and which I am still using. That is prawn MR550. I have posted an elaborate video on that in my channel. You can watch it by clicking the link above, and also a few other random videos of the functions in that food processor. We would have preferred a branded product like Braun, but I didn't get a similar one, and whatever was available was way too expensive. So that's why we decided this. Even if it lasts for 2-3 years, I think it is worth the money. My first impression is, like, after lifting this, I feel this is quite rugged, quite strong. The finish and quality looks very good, and these attachments are also quite strong. So one thing I miss in this product is there could have been a base, which also serves as a lid when this is not used. So you can keep the chopped vegetables with the lid covered, so that it gives a protection in the base as well, and also it will rest firmly on the surface. So that is missing. And one more thing is this bottom lid, as well as a stand in which you could fix the main motor attachment. The wire is not quite long, but looks to be fairly adequate. So now I'll show a brief demo of this product. I'm going to use it for the first time. So I'll show some chopping and blending in this. So let's see. So I'll just chop some cabbage. It's locked. So I'm going to use the speed option. I kept it minimum. I'm going to use this. So it's done. You can see even in low speed it is very fine. I'm sure in turbo it will become like paste. So the blade is very sharp actually. So now I'm going to chop capsicum. I'll just put 2 pieces, that is half a capsicum. Because if you put too much, they've got a marking here maximum, but if you put too much the bottom becomes more fine and the top remains as it is. So it's better to put little quantities which will get chopped within seconds, less than 5-10 seconds. So let me use turbo first. So you can see in turbo it is chopped so finely. The next half I'll do it with the speed option. Actually this has been done in just 5 seconds. I kept the stopwatch on here. So let me do with the speed option now. Now I'm using the speed option. I'm switching on the stopwatch. So again using the speed option, it's again chopping very finely. This is in 5 seconds. Maybe you can just run for 2-3 seconds to get a slightly bigger size. So the blade is not only sharp, which is good enough, but chopped vegetables won't be of slightly bigger size because of the motor power. So this is one big capsicum in less than 10 seconds. You can see the cabbage here. This is all ideal for coleslaw and sandwiches, but not for making curries. For that you need a slightly bigger pieces. So imagine how it will be if you got a 1000 and 1200 watt power motor. So that's the reason I was telling about low power motor, because for such chopping and blending you don't need high power like 1000 and 1200 and 1500. So I've got 2 onions cut into halves, 4 halves I have here, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the speed option only to see what's the maximum amount of size I'm getting, because if I use turbo I'm sure it will be into a fine powder, which will be ideal for making pav bhaji and things like that. Let me start. I've kept the speed in minimum. Quite finely chopped for a minimum speed. I've got a fine chopping. So if I do in turbo it will be a paste. So I've got tomatoes cut into halves. I'm just trying with 3 pieces, that is 1.5 tomatoes, and I'm going to use turbo for this. It's very fast and very fine. Actually you can even make add a little water and you can make like puree or chutney. So I'm going to use the blender now. This can be used for blending soup and dal. This is a mixed vegetable soup I'm doing. So I'm going to make cold coffee with this frother attachment. I've taken 400 ml of milk. The coffee is nice and frothy. So overall my final verdict after running this for the first time will be that, as you have seen, you have to handle it carefully. You have to do very slowly if you want bigger chopping size of vegetables. Else within 5 seconds you saw that how finely the vegetables are chopped. So for 2200 I should say it's a steal. It's worth buying. I'm providing the buying link in the description below. So in case you're interested, you can use that link to buy for yourself. Hope you liked watching the video. Share your comments. See you soon in my next video. Till then, it is bye bye from Bhuwana.